as we mentioned, this is rain that we really need, and those drought watchers are hoping the storm brings that rain to help replenish our dry region. Environmental impact reporter Scott Broom is live at Rocky Gorge Reservoir near Laurel, Maryland with more.
Caitlin, dramatically dry, and I brought you here to Rocky Gorge to show you where I'm standing is normally underwater. Now, they've drawn down this reservoir because they're doing some maintenance work, but the drought is making it a little more difficult for them to have the water to refill this reservoir, which has to happen this winter and spring as the season unfolds. That's when reservoirs get filled after these dry periods. This, of course, the most remarkably dry period in a very long time. Caitlin, you know that we set a record back earlier this month, 35 straight days, a record without any rainfall at all. That ended on November 7th. As we look at pictures of this reservoir, utility managers told me today it's going to take a seasonal change. As you said, Caitlin, not just one storm to cause the Metropolitan Council of Governments drought watch in the region be lifted simply because it's been so dry for so long. Water managers in the region say winter and early spring are the time of year when groundwater and dry soil get recharged for the upcoming year. So they're hoping this incoming storm means change. They're watching it carefully, hoping for a return to normal. Here's some of my conversation with Mike Nardalilli, the executive director of the Interstate Commission on the Potomac River Basin.
We can sustain a lot of dry months, but we really do need the rain. Our groundwater wells that are throughout the basin show that it's abnormally low right now. And so we need to have it recharged in time for the beginning of the season, the spring and the summer.
Water managers throughout the region seem to become more and more acutely concerned about what's going on long term. Help us understand that.
Basically, it boils down to climate change. We have a lot of models that have predicted that the Potomac River Basin is going to be wetter and hotter over time. And that's a good thing for water supply. However, the models also show us that variability is going to be increasing over time. So the wet years will be wetter and the dry years will be drier, so that we will have more substantial droughts, and we will have more flooding. And instead of having a nice even flow of rainfall in the basin, we'll have these periods when it will go without rain for a long period of time, and then we'll get a deluge. Water will come all at once and flow away and not seep into the ground.
Mike's point with me was that the system has to have some resiliency built into it. It's making these reservoirs that much more important. So the incoming storm, important news for water managers. They're hoping it signals some seasonal change. They really need to recharge the system over the winter and into the spring. And before we go, I do want to mention the burn ban, the outdoor burn ban is still in effect in Maryland. The Department of Natural Resources here in this state has imposed a burn ban. They do not expect this incoming storm is going to result in a lift of the ban. Just like the water managers, they feel like we need to get back to much more consistent weather rainfall as we do as we get into the winter season before that burn ban is going to be lifted. So the incoming storm, not the end of our problems there either. At least that's a prediction right now. Reporting live at Rocky Gorge Reservoir, Scott Broom, WUSA 9. Simone, back to you.
Certainly appreciate the update there and the perspective. Scott, thank you. Look, now's a great time to download our free WUSA 9 app to stay up to date with the forecast. It has live interactive radar. It's really helpful to track the rain as it moves through your neighborhood. You can scan the QR code on your screen. Don't forget to turn on push notifications. That way you won't miss any breaking news or weather impact alerts.